Do you feel a huge laziness or reluctance when it comes to studying? Do your study sessions take forever and no matter how much you do it, you never get the grades you would like? In addition, you may spend entire days studying or have the feeling that you are not making any progress at all. Maybe you find it hard to concentrate and in the end you have the feeling that you are not making the most of your study time. Today I'll show you 5 tips with which you can cope with these problems. Here we go. First, identify your most productive hours. We all have certain times of the day when we are full of energy. Or we find it easier to overcome laziness and start studying. Some people are more nocturnal and can give it their all after dinner. Or stay in front of the screen until the wee hours of the morning. Others have more energy in the afternoon, after lunch, or perhaps in the later part of the day. Still others, it is in the morning when they can give their best. Whatever your case, identify your most productive time and dedicate those hours to study. That is when you will be most willing to start, when you will advance at a faster rate and have a higher performance. Second, create a study routine. Once you know what your best hours are, make studying at that time of day your routine. Mark on your calendar or in your diary the specific times when you will study. And do it. Doing it routinely will help you create the habit of studying. The human being is a friend of habit, and creating a habit is something like training a muscle through repetition. The more you repeat a behavior, the more you strengthen it. In addition, you will be conditioning your brain to act in a certain way at a certain time of the day and, consequently, your brain, knowing that it is time to study, will prepare for it. We could say that it goes into learning mode, and every day it will be easier for you to do it and it will be less effort. In the end, you will be so used to it, that the day you don't do it, you won't know how to occupy that time. Third, divide the session into smaller parts. Some assignments are so large that they seem endless. Some subjects are so much work and so heavy that it seems like they will never be finished. It is very difficult for you to find the motivation to study if you only see yourself handling a mountain of information for the next few hours without any kind of break. Don't study all at once without taking a break. Instead, take several short breaks throughout your session. For example, if you are going to study for 2 hours, you can divide your session into 4 parts of half an hour, of which the first 25 minutes are dedicated to study and the other 5 to rest. This is exactly how the Pomodoro system works, but we will talk about it in another video. Giving yourself short breaks during your study session allows you to refresh your mind, recover energy, and makes it easier for you to stay motivated. In addition, you will return from each break with greater lucidity and renewed attention. You can do the same with each subject. Instead of looking at each subject in its complete form, you can divide it into smaller parts and decide which of these parts you are going to address during your study session. Fourth, do one thing. Be a monotasker. You may be one of those people who pride themselves on being a multitasker. But, let me tell you one thing, don't do it anymore, you are only hindering your learning. Many times you may fall into the trap of wanting to tackle several things at once to make faster progress. You might want to attend an online class and take notes, while you finish the exercises of that same subject, or another one. Or maybe you pretend to study with a soccer game or a series in the background. Which is even worse. Or maybe, you are studying a subject while thinking about how you are going to prepare tomorrow's presentation. There are many different possibilities for being tempted to do several things simultaneously. But the moment you try to do more than one thing at a time, you are dividing your attention and, consequently, none of those 2 or more things will perform at the same level as you would if you only did one of them. It's like carrying ballast to run a marathon. Or like driving while looking at the girl or guy passing by on the sidewalk. However, when you focus on just one thing, your capacity is multiplied. You'll understand everything better, you'll move faster and your results will be superior. Fifth, beware of overlearning. In other words, don't study too much. We have always been told that to pass you have to study more, but that is not entirely true. 2 long study sessions, not including breaks, or too little rest, is totally counterproductive. And spending all day studying and extending it into the night is just as bad, if not worse. These practices will only make it harder for you to learn. It is important that you take a break throughout your study day. Disconnecting, distracting yourself and resting will help you consolidate your knowledge. If you apply these 5 tips, you will see how studying becomes more enjoyable, or at least, more bearable. You will see how it is easier for you to maintain your concentration, you will see that it will cost you less to overcome laziness and start studying, and you will see how you can advance faster in your learning, with less effort. In short, study in your most productive hours. Create a study routine or habit. Divide the session into smaller parts / take periodic and short breaks. Be monotask. Don't overstudy. I invite you to apply these tips and tell me, in the comments box, how they work for you. In the next video I will give you more study tips. Subscribe and click on the little bell so you don't miss it.